Hello people, it's Matt Rogers and it's now 2:16 p.m. here in the UK and I welcome all of you. Now, I apologise about the way that cut out that image, that video showing you that there was a huge wave that struck the Netherlands and people were just out sunbathing and just enjoying their day and a huge wave caught them by surprise. Now, I'm not surprised about this because the weather patterns are becoming much stranger all the time and news media still hide the truth. You will hear this lady from the BBC, Alex Dolan, a well-known weather expert, that basically don't say nothing about the chemtrails, doesn't give any information about those strange cloudings that we're seeing in the skies. I mean, the game is up, isn't it? Because when she goes through the broadcast, you can see on the screen those chems and the pollution that they're putting up there and the changes as we are heading for a pole shift. The Earth is changing right now. We could see them. Hired chems up there in the skies with those clouds, our natural clouds, being burnt away all the time. So I'm going to play this video. I apologise if it cuts out because I believe with this radiation that's coming through from the sun, it's causing the internet to play up as well. Things are slowing down and starting up, and I'm getting emails saying that their internet is slowed down and buffering. It's not the same as it was before. This heat coming from the celestial body, the sun, is now aggravating everything. It really is. So let's go and listen to this lady's words and also look on the screen. And the BBC, again, are hiding the truth from us.
For many of us, look at this lovely sunrise taken in. A beautiful morning for many of us. Look at this lovely sunrise taken in Cambridgeshire this morning. Then some gathering clouds for the afternoon and some pretty torrential downpours. This photograph taken in Essex pretty much captures the scene here. It's come in on this cold front here. It's made steady progress across the country over the last few days. So we held on to the hot and humid air this morning, and then as it hit that hot and humid air, it sort of went bang really, and we've had some reports of hail and lightning. Look at the radar image here. You can see how the rain is tracked across the region, and certainly Essex was well in the firing line. For this evening, though, they are starting to move out into the North Sea, these heavy showers, but certainly they're going to rumble on for another hour or two, and not an entirely dry forecast for the rest of the night as well, because there'll be a legacy of cloud left behind and some outbreaks of showery rain. Now, turning our attention to the temperatures, they're going to stay really quite high and still quite muggy overnight tonight, with lows between 13 and 16 degrees. So we start our day tomorrow already quite warm. That area of low pressure well out of the way and high pressure starting to build in. So it might be a bit of a cloudy start for some of us, particularly across those eastern counties, places like Norfolk, Suffolk and Essex, and possibly one or two light showers, but an improving picture with some sunshine coming out and still quite warm through the day tomorrow, still quite humid. In fact, 20 or 21 Celsius are high. The winds coming from a westerly direction, so that'll mean those temperatures on the coast are not quite so chilly as they have been with some onshore breezes, and it's looking largely fine and dry for the afternoon. And then as we go into Sunday, a slightly fresher feel to things. The fresher air kicks in, we'll see some sunshine, perhaps one or two isolated showers, but for many of us, Sunday looks as though it will be a dry day, but those temperatures are a little lower, 17 to 19 degrees for most of us. And then looking beyond into Monday, an area of low pressure gathering in the Atlantic, and it's likely to bring us some wet and windy weather, but for us here in the east, perhaps a bit later in the day, so we may well kick off Monday to a bright and fine start. So we've got those 2 days, a risk of showers for Sunday, worth mentioning, but many places should stay dry right through the day on Sunday. And for Monday, a largely dry and bright start, then cloud increasing and the threat of some rain and the winds picking up later into the afternoon and overnight Monday into Tuesday. So it's a slightly cooler, fresher forecast really from Sunday onwards. There are likely to be some showers as well on Tuesday.
Okay, you heard that from news media, the BBC. They just make out that everything's just fine and just to go about our business. They're telling lies to the members of the public here in the UK. They're telling lies from all over the world right now. They don't explain and they don't say anything about the chemtrails. They don't explain that they're poisoning us up there in the skies. They don't explain the strange weather patterns. One moment it's hailstoning, the next it's raining heavily, and then it's just red hot again. It's because we've got that huge celestial body that's out there now. We're seeing this on the other cams around the world. Every single part of the globe now has got the same weather patterns. At first this lady's panicking because she knows that something's wrong. They get told to say nothing. It just goes on like a fairy tale. To us, the public, they're just saying that everything's fine to the very end. So that's think out of the box with this. Let's not believe the news media propaganda lies that's run by the government. That's really think for ourselves. We don't need these lies, do we? We just want the truth. Here is some earthquakes that have happened recently, just a couple of hours ago. I mean, here's a magnitude 5.9 earthquake that hit Papua New Guinea. I mean, 5.9 is, again, as I said before, is a 6.9. They always change this. That's a large earthquake. And there was reports as well on media that they've said that there was people that were affected by this. There's people worrying all over the these areas that are feeling these earthquakes, and we've got to respect those people and hope that people are okay. This was early yesterday. I mean, you can see this, 2nd of June. The time over in Russia there is 23:24, and another one, a magnitude 6.8 earthquake. Now that is quite big, isn't it? Because the real magnitude is a 7.8. That is a very large quake that's happened very close to some islands down the sea level there in the Bering Sea. I mean, that is a large quake, isn't it? We're seeing more of the magnitudes now, aren't we, than ever before. It's a huge build-up now, isn't it? Here again is a magnitude 4.7 that hit in India as well. People are starting to notice now that these quakes are starting to spread out a lot more around the world now. And we really need to concentrate on the finding these reports. Because again, the news media, as you saw in that video here in the UK, we're just being lied to all the time. They sweeten everything up, don't they? These lying stories on the weather channels, just so we pay our TV license and just carry on our merry way and pay our taxes to the government. This is all they're doing it for. Lying all the time. I mean, they don't tell us about any of this information, do they? And as I said in another video, sooner or later we're going to end up with earthquakes. Some huge changes here in the UK will happen. Because as the sun is so much affected now, as it's turning white hot, I mean, something's going to explode up there, isn't it? There's going to be a huge problem. And still the list goes on. Another 125 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. I mean, you've got them in Italy, Hawaii, Iran, Turkey, Chile, Greece, China, Italy again, it's Romania, I mean, Tennessee. It's all happening now, isn't it? It's not just in the usual places. I mean, these earthquakes are spreading from all over the place because we've got those holes in the jet stream. And we've got these coronal holes that are with the sun and pulling out these huge solar flares now that are heading down towards our planet Earth. Burning holes into our core that's causing these eruptions under our feet down at the Earth's core. I mean, the super king volcanoes, the size of these things, there's spread out around the globe, and they're ready to erupt right now. They really are. They're huge, and they will cause a problem to our Earth as well, humanity. And we've got to survive this. We really have. And we're just bringing out the information. I mean, look at the one in Alaska 41 minutes ago. I know it says a 3.9, but that's a 4.9. It carries on. So it just shows you, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. It's an eye-opener. This is the Soho live chart. I mean, look at this solar flare. I mean, that's heading towards our Earth, to the left-hand side. Just look at this. See the size of this blast that you will see on the screen here. I mean, there's a dark shadow here to the right-hand side, and we're seeing an object to the right-hand side, aren't we? There's a shadow here. Can you see this? There's trash. See this? It's bits coming off the sun all the time. Look at this. I mean, watch this blast. I mean, look at this. This is coming from the sun, the coronal holes. This is what's heading towards our Earth. And again, news media here in Britain, I mean, and Australia and the USA, the Far East, Russia, everywhere. They are lying about this. They're not telling us the truth of these huge blasts coming from our sun and heading towards our Earth. They're not warning anybody. People need to be alert to this now. And I urge people to use sunblock if you're going outside. Put a jacket on. I mean, don't leave yourself wide open to this, because you'll burn. You really will. And I just want to respect you to let you know that we've got to keep safe with this. We've got to prepare for this, because it's only getting worse. Because eventually NASA will turn this off to stop people from looking and worrying about this. Because, I mean, the truth has to be explained. It has to come out now to the public, because this is what I want to do. I want to warn the public about this huge situation now. You can see that shadow. You can see the solar blasts. I mean, these are billions of miles long and they're heading straight towards us, and our Earth is being battered by them all the time. You've got to remember that Earth is like 4 billion to 5 billion years old. It's a huge object that's ancient. It's an old celestial body that we're living on right now, and we just want to look after it. But they turn around and say it's our fault for the pollution, it's our fault for climate change. We have got to now pay with our taxes to mend this. They're not doing this. What they're doing is they are using our taxpayers' money to build, to go underground, and thinking that they can save themselves, to hide themselves from when this big huge event comes, when the sun becomes too hot, too unbearable for us humanity to stand and walk around. Because it's starting to do that now. I mean, it was doing this in the winter period as well. It was still, we were getting these strange weather patterns. We were getting hot days in November. I mean, we're supposed to be the furthest away from the sun. These blasts are getting much stronger now. So again, it's just keeping an eye on all the information out there for all you. Here's another chart as well, but I spotted something on this chart as well. Can you see this? There's an object here. Now, I've checked the space charts, okay? The up-to-date space charts. It's not supposed to be here, this object. What is this that's coming in? Can you see this? This isn't supposed to be there. And again, all the trash that's coming through. Now, another thing as well, on Wednesday last week I checked the charts, and they blocked out half an hour of the footage. It jumped, because you can see the timestamp on the bottom left-hand corner there, can't you? But it cut out 2 days last week. Now I wonder what went on there, because I'd like to have checked this. Now I sent an email to the Soho webpage, but I haven't had anything back about it. So again, it's just monitoring things. They're hiding things from us all the time, aren't they? They're turning cams off all over the world. The NASA cams, they turn them off for a brief moment, half a day. The thing is, they just don't want people to know, do they? So I'm going to keep an eye on this as well. I mean, I'm going to keep this on 24 hours on this object here, because it was a lot smaller last week and it's got a bit bigger now. Anyway, I'm going to go to check the NASA cams. I'm going to see what's going on with NASA now. This is a NASA cam, okay? Not much you can see here, but you can see the top of the Earth just up there on the left-hand side. But the red, can you see this red reflection on the screen? You can see this. And also you can see sprites. They call them lightning. It's lightning, but it's going upwards. But you can see the lightning through those cams and clouds. It's a very heavy storm down there. And again, as I said before, these objects that are up in the heavens, these beings, now we've gone through this before with these UFOs and things, they're attracted to all these lightning strikes. They really are. And the weather patterns, as I said before, are changing completely now. Now, I keep saying this, but the media just don't want people to see this. They don't want you to see the truth, what's going on with the amount of radiation that's filling our atmosphere now and causing all this strangeness of these weather patterns all the time. Because around the whole world it's the same. We've seen it on the Alaska cams and also the Mexico cams and other cams, skyline cams. They're all the same weather patterns right now. And the storms and these other problems we're having up there in the skies are just going to get so much worse. They really are. We're going to see a whole load of differences up there in the heavens. It's all around the corner now. I mean, as I said before, the time bomb is ticking. It really is. Because at any point now, I mean, the other day, as I said before, it was very, very hot. I mean, we saw those chems above the natural clouds are being lowered and burnt away because of the Nibiru magnetic pull from the Earth's magnetic pull. And then all of a sudden, it starts hailstoning. I mean, what sort of weather pattern is that? I've never seen that before. It just 5 minutes and then gone again. And then it's red hot again, and then all of a sudden it showers. Can't make its mind up, can it? It really can't make its mind up now. So I'm going to continue looking at this on the huge monitor. I've got a monitor in the here, and I am going to keep this on pre-record to see what I can find on it as well. Now I'm going to show you some subscribers' images because they've seen some fantastic things, and I respect all of you, and I believe that we should show you these because other people's work is very much deserved to put in view. So let's show you these now. Okay, what we've got here is a fantastic image from Ron. Again, he's a professional photographer and he is picking up some fantastic images. Now, you can clearly see what he's done is he's put like a circumference circle just above the image. Now, as you can see here, this object is basically showing that it's like a rounded piece. There's a black celestial body that's above it. Look at it. I mean, is this trash that's coming through? I mean, that is in space. Now, going back, as I said some time ago, last year, wintertime, November, I was looking out at the night sky, northeast, and I looked and noticed them lines up there in the skies, them dark lines. I had to focus in on it, but I could see that, and it was like moving. It was very strange. But Ron, that's fantastic. There's something clearly up there, isn't it? I mean, it's not a star. It's nothing that we know of up there. But again, just a mind-blowing image, isn't it? But thank you very much for sending that in to me. Now, again, I've zoomed in on this. Okay, this is from Ron, and you can see clearly that there's something that's blocking this object above the top of it. It's like a round circle. I mean, you can see this, can't you? Like a celestial object that's black, that's up there. I mean, again, it's just very strange, isn't it? And it's a situation that people won't understand what they're seeing. Only us, we're clearly noticing the differences now. And I just, again, want the public to notice it as well. I really do. And again, Ron, thank you for sending this in to me. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is another image from Ron again. I mean, there's another object up there. Is this a UFO? An unidentified flying object that's up there. It's like a triangle image. I mean, you can see that clearly, can't you? This is pointing northeast at 2 AM in the morning. I mean, there's so many subscribers out there now that's really taking care of looking up in them skies now, and that's fantastic. Absolutely stunning. Some spectacular images that's coming through. We really need to get people to understand now that there is things going on up there now as well. There's golden orbs that are moving across the sky. There's objects like this you can see on the screen that's moving across the sky at high speeds. You have to really be persistent and study the sky to catch these items, because again, the news media will not say anything. They've been told to say nothing. It's down to us now to put down them iPhones, put down the TV, put down your TV remote, turn it off, go outside on a clear night and view those skies, and you will see them images. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, look at this. This is an image that everybody's seeing up there in the skies, these strange textures, these colours. We're seeing this creamy coloured reflection and then the blue reflection. I mean, these are not natural clouds. These are just chemicals, toxins up there that are covering the truth. The plasma that's burning through now, that's causing all these earthquakes. I mean, you can see the disk. I mean, it's all evident now, and they're still hiding this from the public. They really are. Got to try and expose those government officials and what they're doing. NASA, they should not be now hiding this from us. They shouldn't be hiding it now. That simulator is still doing its work right to this very second. Ron, this is an absolute amazing image. Thank you for sending this in as well. Now, I explained this on the other cam, the other video. It's so evident now. These strange black clouds that move in front of the sun, and they just stay there. They don't move at all while the other clouds are moving. And it's coming up to summer now. It's very hot, but can you see on the trees that below, the plant life is still dying. It's being burnt away. The health from the trees have disappeared. You can see also above and also below, it's too dark. It is far too dark for the sun to be out. It really is. It's very dim now. Up in the shadows up there in the heavens, it's completely changed. But again, people still walk around and they still think everything's fine. This is another true amazing image. I mean, you can see that there's another heavenly body on the image that's behind those chems. You can see the two different shadows. Okay, down below you've got that red shadow. The sun's going down on this image, and you've got a heavenly body. There's an object behind those chemtrails above. It's there. And again, the trees, they're just not as healthy, very thin and faded and very unhealthy. But again, thank you for sending this fantastic image in. And I'm going to show more images shortly as well, of a list of other people that have sent footage in. Getting bags of emails, and it's fantastic that people are sending all this in to me. Here's another image as well. I mean, you can see that the simulator, the sun, everything, those chems, it's just burning now, isn't it? It's getting very much brighter, it's getting bigger, and it's just killing our hydrogen out of our natural clouding all the time. So another fantastic image. This one here as well, you can see where the simulator's into play in front of the sun. It just changes it, doesn't it? I mean, everything is twisted up there in space now. They're trying to hide the huge problem, but you can see to the left there's an object. I mean, it doesn't hide it all the time. To the right and the left, we're seeing these shadows on the horizon. They're trying to hide this, but they can't. It can't carry on much longer. It really can't. And I believe as well that looking in between the lines of news media and the governments around the world, you can see that something's going on, because you can see them panicking. They are all panicking. We again can see the pollution up there that's being spread above those clouds, and this simulator, as I said before, is falling apart now. These objects are getting bigger. So again, another fantastic image. I also believe with this image as well, it's not our sun. It could be the blue Kachina. It's too blue up there in the skies. It really is. But again, they try and fool us to thinking that the reflections are from our celestial body, the sun, the yellow sun. I mean, look at it. It's not the same colours as we're seeing. And we're seeing these problems up in the skies, but again, the BBC and ITV here in the UK and around the world, CNN and other channels that people are watching on their news media after work, they still again don't show you the truth, do they? They don't show. Home from my short holiday, and it's good to be home now. So that's just carry on and show you what's going up there in the skies, because it's very important that we continue the work to show you the truth of what's going on. You can see on this Alaska cam, this false past cam, and this is east in Alaska, and Friday the 2nd of June 2017. And also as well, I just want to let you know as well that we here in the UK are having some strange weather patterns right now at the moment. There was a short period of rain here in the northeast of the UK, and it was like it was hailstones, small hailstones that were pelting down for about 5 minutes, and then it stopped. Now we're seeing lots of different strangeness in the skies right now. As you can see on this cam here as well, you've got these grey clouds that are low the low clouds that we see, these strange clouds full of chemicals. And again, we've got these high chemicals as well up there in the skies as well. And the natural clouds, as you can see here on the horizon over here and here as well, that are just being burnt away. And also, it's too dark. Very much dark now. Here in the UK, we're getting this dim sky. And also, we're getting these strange thick cloudings that move in front of the sun very slowly. And then they just stay there. Everything else moves. All the other clouds are moving about, as if they're being moved by the wind, the natural weather patterns. But this other cloud, this strange cloud, just slowly moves in front of the sun, and it stays there. It doesn't move anywhere, it just stays there. And this is being all controlled by HAARP and other technology. We're seeing this, aren't we, all the time? The whole of the Earth now is seeing the same weather pattern. It's not now as if the northern hemisphere is very damp and the southern hemisphere is very hot. We're now getting the same weather patterns all across the globe. We are seeing the same skies, all of us. Now, that just shows you, and that's evidence, isn't it, that there's something wrong right now. They are spraying the whole world, okay? The military, from different organisations and governments around the world. We're seeing this, aren't we? And the sun is now burning through those chemtrails, and it's burning through a lot of the this situation is getting out of hand now, isn't it? These corona holes are huge. We have got this system that's coming in now, and seeing this on the screen is just absolutely 100% that we've got a huge problem now, haven't we? Okay, I've caught something very interesting on this cam as well. Very, very interesting, and I will show you this now, but it's so evident that we've got another heavenly body that's showing itself now. As you can see on the right hand side, you can see where the sun's coming up. Here, the sun comes up. Okay, now just keep a note on this area here. You will see another body coming up and then it goes down. It's trying to show itself, and I believe this to be the sun's companion star. Watch this. Can you see this? You see this, can't you? This is from this huge red reflection that we see. The plasma from the sun is coming up on the right hand side, and this will be the companion star. Can you see this? You can see it trying to light up on the horizon. And this red reflection is coming up as well. Here you will see the plasma coming from the sun. The Sol, our sun that comes up in the sky, that's been affected by the binary twin. You can see this. And then it goes away again. Chemtrails covering it all the time. This is why we're heating up. This is why the Earth is now at boiling point. This is a situation, yesterday was far too hot. This object is too close for comfort now, isn't it? It's so evident. Look at this. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, I've zoomed in now, so I'm going to now show you this. Can you see this? You can see where the plasma's coming up from the sun, and there's an object just here. It's just showing itself on the horizon. Here it is again. You can see this, can't you, the way it moves? It's moving across the horizon, dipping down. All the time we're seeing this now. I've zoomed in one more time. Here it is. You can see that. It's just so clear now, isn't it? You just can't deny that now, can you? There is something that's out there. It's a situation now, isn't it? Everything is showing absolutely right that we've got those objects that are out there in space now and in the solar system. They're just there now. It's evident. You could see this on the screen. This red array that's coming through before the sun comes up. This is definitely from the binary twin and the Nibiru system. This is all coming in now. You can see this celestial object that's up there now, can't you? There it is again, look, see? There's another object, another star up there that's coming in. It's heading our way now. Okay, we've got another interesting image on the screen here. This I believe to be Nibiru, a huge reflection coming from north. And this is the Berners Bay Cam in Alaska. Many fantastic Americans out there in the USA, the subscribers that are viewing the channel, and many other people around the world that are very supportive and watching everything that's going on, because we're all seeing the same thing all the time now. Every single one of us are seeing the skies have changed. Every single one of us are seeing those chem planes, and now we're seeing some very strange sundowns and sunrises. It's very important to keep an eye on these sundowns and sunrises all the time. It's very important, because here again on this cam you can see this, can't you? This dated today, the 2nd of June 2017, and there's something there, isn't there, up in the skies? I mean, let me go through the cam. Okay, there's something there. Okay, now it's very chemy up there in the skies on this cam, but you can see that it's still there, isn't it? Go through the image, look. It's moving now, it's moving up a bit now, and it's disappeared. So again, it's just pinpointing every single piece of evidence to show you that there's objects that are being chemtrailed. They're hiding it all the time. You can see this, can't you? There's an object that's up there, and this is what it looks like as the sun's rising. Now this is coming from north, okay? We need to look north all the time. You can see the timestamp here as well is 3:21:48 seconds. It's early morning sunrise, and you can see this on the opposite side. Just another piece of evidence to show you, isn't it, that there's something that's up there that's this colour. And when I look at the NASA cams, as I've showed you before, you can see that those red, pink and dark red reflections on the Earth, you can see this reflection coming from another strange object up there, I believe to be Nibiru. It's definitely here now. It really is. And everything is heating up. Everything in the inner solar system now is heating up all the time. Here's another image as well on a Trading Bay East cam. Okay, now this is also in Alaska, and I've zoomed into this piece of footage. Now there's something through those cams. There's a shadow, isn't there? Something large, an object, I don't know. It's just very interesting to see that. It really was. So I just thought I'd show you this piece of footage as well. I've been changing its I've enhanced it and what have you like, and it just looks very strange. It's burning through, is it? I don't know. It's just there and just looked very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go into another piece of footage for you now. Okay, I'm going to show you this couple of pieces of images, okay, on this cam. This is a King Cove, and it's pointing east. And like the other cam image I showed you of that object that was moving across the horizon. Now, when the sun comes up, it doesn't cause a red reflection to the right hand side or the left hand side. There's something else that's out there. We know now that this has to be Nibiru. It has to be the brown dwarf star. These objects are now in front of our sun. And I'll show you this, okay? Very important. Can you see this red reflection coming up now? You can see this, can't you? This is not from our sun. This is from another object that's coming up to the left hand side. You can see this here, can't you? Just under those mountains on the horizon. There's something else coming up before the sun comes up. Can you see this? And again, they are spraying our skies all the time through the early hours of the morning, through to the day and night, to cool our atmosphere down, because these objects are incoming now. We have never seen chemtrails as thick as these before in our entire lives. These are getting so much thicker now. And look on this image, look on the ground. It's far too dry. It really is getting dry now. The only thing that's cooling it down at the moment are those chemtrails Because if they weren't there, our lifelines disappeared because the natural clouds have disappeared. It's again about preparing for this, because last year we were looking at the skies, weren't we, and doing video footage and images, and it wasn't as bad as this. Those chems were quite high up in the air, but now they're very low. And now we're seeing this red reflection a lot stronger. Okay, this is a very interesting cam image as well, and I'd like to point out a few things on this image. Now, if you look at it first off, okay, it just looks quite normal to a normal person, you know, to somebody that's not awake to the truth. Now to us, we can see those chemtrails, can't we? And we can see that that simulator is in front of the sun, because it's, again, as I said before, it's too dim on the ground. Now for the time of the year, it's supposed to be nice, and the trees, the bushes, the greenery, the grass, nothing. It's just very dried up, isn't it? Very unhealthy. But if you look closely to the 7 o'clock position of the sun here, you can just see an object, okay, just here. It's brightening up just here. You can see this. There's a celestial body that's there. You can just see this now, can't you? It's getting a lot bigger, and we've seen this on the Mexico cams. That's what I can see on there. You can see this too now, can't you? Okay, I've noticed something on this this image. Okay, this is another Alaska cam. Now, I've had to really stare at this image really hard, because that to me looks very much like something else than anything else that we know of. I mean, this isn't Mars, is it? This isn't the moon. There's nothing else I can think of. But can you see, though, which I'm just trying to figure out with this, can you see how it lights up on the left hand side? Can you see this? As it's close near to the sun. It's a red object. You can see this clearly, can't you, on the screen? I believe that there is something out there. Something big. Now, I mean, if this is wormwood, if this is wormwood, then we're in trouble, aren't we? Because it seems to be very much in front of the sun now. This simulator is finding it very difficult to hide these objects up now in the skies. But I mean, the image just blew me away when I first saw it. I mean, let me zoom in a bit more to it. I've zoomed in now, and you can see this, can't you? Clearly see that is something else that's out there. I mean, it's red, it's huge, it's big, and it's to the right hand side there of the sun. Now we're getting a red reflection on sunrise. You know, when the sun's rising, we get this red reflection on the right hand side. Prep Aussie said, and sent me some images in, that there's an object on the right hand side. There's something clearly out there now. Now, I did them videos over the holiday period, and I wanted to use my other devices to try and get the images out there and zoom into things and what have you, but I only had my my iPad and other things, so I just focused on the chemtrails because I couldn't zoom in properly to anything at that point in time. So I'm just glad to be back home now to pick up other things, because sadly they are chemtrailing so much now, and trying to zoom up and take photographs of the sky right now is very difficult, because every single day, we all know this, that they are chemtrailing our skies on the horizons all the time. I mean, where's the money coming from? And they're saying that we're in debt. The government is saying that we're causing the debt, us, humanity, the public. I mean, what a joke. I mean, they're evidently spraying our skies, wasting all that money, and they're not saying a complete word. So again, when I watch news media, I don't believe a word they say. I really don't. This government-run elections here in the UK, and I mean, they always pass the buck to each other, don't they? They're never a straight answer. They always lie. They always try and spin a nursery rhyme for us, humanity, to believe it and think, oh yeah, excellent, this is all good, isn't it? The weather channels, They don't mention chemtrails at all. We can see this in our skies now. We can see the clouds are changing because the Earth's magnetic pull to the Nibiru's magnetic pull is affected. It's affecting everything. We're catching these objects now. We really are. And it's so important that we get this word out there, because no one else, no news media, no government-run organisations are mentioning a single word, because deep down they just think of themselves. They're thinking of themselves. They are spending trillions of dollars building them underground cities. The shadow government have been doing this. The powers to be have been working on this for a long time, a very, very long time. We would all be shocked if we found out the real truth. We would be, because that's why Phil Snyder lost his life. That's why Lloyd Pye lost his life. And Dr. Harrington also lost. I mean, there's hundreds of people that, from NASA, scientists, have lost their lives. There was one that was flying his aeroplane, and it just fell out the sky. I mean, but the thing is, government-run organisations know that humanity will just forget about it and just carry on. We're being fooled all the time. The banking system is just a wicked game to keep us in the loop, keep us check. It's a vicious circle that we're never going to get out of. The only way we're going to do this is to stand up to them, which is going to be very difficult because they've got us now. It's too late. But they're very worried about this incoming celestial object. These objects, they just know that something huge is going to happen. They are panicking. They can't stop it. They really can't stop this now. All they can do is spray our skies every single day to hide what's going on up there in the heavens. We have got those celestial bodies that are coming in now. We really have. I'm going to go to another image for you, but that is just something else, isn't it? I mean, you can't deny that image, can you? I mean, here's another part of the image on the cam as well. I mean, you can see that, can't you? I mean, again, I know I repeat things. It's just I want to get the word out there. Because, again, as I said earlier on, that it's so easy to forget things, isn't it? And just move along to the next situation, isn't it? I mean, there's been so much information that's been given out by this huge event that's on its way now. I mean, my granddad many years ago had said that in my lifetime there's something huge is going to happen. And it will. And I believe him. I mean, there's so many people out there that are genuine, that are seeing things now and doing so much fantastic work out there. Many people that are open to the truth, that are just seeing the truth now, aren't they? And we're seeing these objects, aren't we? I mean, I saw that object again, as I said before, up in Hull last year. I saw it on the 25th of July 2016, last summer. It was there. It was there. 100%. I was very shocked, but we just got to carry on, haven't we? We really have to carry on. So, I'm going to zoom in on this. Hold on a second, please. Here it is zoomed in. As I said before, though, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm no magician or I'm just me, just like yourselves. I'm just a person that wants to see the truth. I just want to find out what's going on. I really do. And the more images I produce on the screen, and that makes me feel better, because it just shows that I want to show you what I see. Everything I see out there, because it has been getting a lot darker up there in the skies. It really has. We're seeing huge shadows up there as well, and it upsets me, because even my wife spoke to me yesterday and said, look, Matthew, it's getting, these chemtrails are getting to be a joke now. I mean, there's far too many of them that are being sprayed. I mean, she's looking up all the time now as well and seeing it, and it upset her yesterday because she'd never seen it as bad as this before, and said, look, are we going to be alright? And I said, I'm sure we're going to be fine. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to go into detail. I don't want to worry anybody. You know, I'm not here to worry anybody at all. I just hope that every single person is going to be safe with this. I really do. But it's only producing the work and talking through this to let you know what I see. It's so clear now, isn't it? We're seeing these. I mean, I've noticed other objects. I know that there might be markings on the screen or what have you on other video cams and things, or even when you're doing pointing to the sun you get a glare and things like that. I know what I'm looking at. But when you see those red reflections on the horizon and you see the evidence that they're pouring these toxins up in the skies more than ever, because I've been studying it now for a whole year and I've noticed that they have been spraying far too much. And again, we've got to ask ourselves a real serious question as well, that why is the sun still at its solar maximum? I mean, the coronal holes have got so bad now, haven't they? They've got bigger now. It's not going to give up. I mean, through the winter period, they're spraying the skies as well. I mean, you've got to think back now. Think back. Think out of the box. Think back to the time when you was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago. There was none of this, was there? There was none of these dark skies, this dark clouding. There was none of these objects that were showing up now on the horizons, this huge plasma, this red reflection, this orange haze from the binary twin nemesis. There was none of it. We would get like a red sky at night, shepherd's delight, once in a blue moon. It was very rare. But now we're seeing a lot of changes up there now, aren't we? Even the moon. The moon looks strange. I mean, they chemtrailed the moon last night, if anybody's listening from the UK, and in the USA and other parts of Australia and Far East countries and Russia, anywhere on the earth, if you look at the moon, you will notice that they're chemtrailing the moon as well. It's very strange colours up there as well. And I know that they're trying to cool the atmosphere down because the sun is at its solar maximum. We're being bombarded by these super solar flares now that are billions of miles long. They really are. We're just a speck. But the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is they're trying to cover the whole globe to do this, to cool the whole globe down. And by doing this, the moon also, I mean, why are they doing this to the moon? Why are they chemtrailing the moon? It doesn't make sense. Because I noticed, okay, I thought to myself last night, I was studying the moon, and I thought, right, okay, they are spraying all the skies so it will move towards the sun, okay, to cover the sun, to protect us. Now, after thinking that through, I started seeing 5 or 6 planes just concentrating on the area of the moon. They would crisscross in the moon. I mean, it looked like a jigsaw puzzle. I mean, crossword. I mean, the thing is, crisscrossing the moon, just that part of the sky. Now, why would they do that? Now, I thought to myself, again, as I've said on another video, why? Because the moon doesn't emit any heat, does it? I mean, it's just a celestial rock out there in space that doesn't do anything, just orbits our Earth as a stabilizer to our Earth. I mean, that's all it does. And I thought to myself then, hold on a second, I'm thinking now they're just doing this to cover the sun, and now it's just they should be telling us now, shouldn't they? They really now should be telling us the truth of what's going on, because it really upsets me that people walk around and they just don't look up. They're not interested. And it's a huge, huge deal to us, isn't it? It really is. Because we've got loved ones, we've got young ones and our families that their future is ahead of them. And they're breathing this in as well as us. They really are now. Let me zoom into this image. I've just zoomed in a little bit more as well. So what I'm going to do is as well, for the next video or so, I'm going to show you some brilliant images from other subscribers around the world, because a kind subscriber called Ron, he sent some fantastic images in, and other people as well. A lady called Stephanie, she lives in the USA, fantastic lady, sent some absolutely amazing footage as well. And also Paul from Leeds in the UK, fantastic guy that's followed the channel all the way through. So Paul, respect to you, mate. And Charlie Mitchell as well, fantastic guy from London. I mean, there's so many people, there's lots of people that's emailing in with different images and different statements of what they've seen in the skies. And do you know what? The real crazy thing about it, well, it's not crazy, is it? I mean, the thing is, right, that shocks me, that no one knows each other. Well, they do, but you know, like say if you've got Charlie Mitchell from London, okay, and then you've got somebody from Boston in the USA. Now, you get 2 emails in, okay, and they are saying that they've seen this object, exactly the same statement, okay, of the same object, the same detail, of 2 different people that don't even know each other. I mean, come on, that says it all, doesn't it? That this is a true situation, isn't it? They're seeing the same thing, and they've never spoke to each other ever before in their lives. Never. Absolutely crazy. Okay, I've gone to another cam, okay? Now this is called the Shishmar cam, northeast. And again, it's Friday the 2nd of June 2017. And I want to point something out on this cam. Again, it just looks normal to a lot of people, the members of the public around the world, but to me and you, it doesn't look normal at all. You've got that simulator in front of the sun, and again, the skies are far too dark. Now, I want to show you something that they use as a cloaking device. I've noticed this before. If you look here on the cam, can you see this? There's something that's blocking this area here. You can see this line, can't you? Okay? There's something here. If I show you now. If I go back here, hold on, sorry. Hold on, 2 seconds. Okay, I apologise about that. Here we go though. You can see this, can't you? Right. If I go here, there's this line. Okay, now these lines supposed to be going out. I mean, you're supposed to get a clear line, reflection from the sun. Okay, but it stops here and here. There's a gap missing. Can you see this now? There's gaps missing. This line's supposed to be beaming out. Okay, but look here. If I zoom into this, right, it's very important. Here it is, okay, but if I zoom in, if I come to this part, you can see it clearly, can't you? There's a piece missing up here. You can see this, there's a piece missing. There's a cloaking device around the sun on the left hand side here. I believe it probably to be right round it. I mean, look at this. Something's been morphed out. I mean, the reflection stops, it breaks. Can you see this? Again, here. Very strange, isn't it? I mean, you can see that, can't you? I mean, all around the world now on this image, I mean, we're seeing this all the time now, aren't we? We're seeing those chemtrails as the sun rises, and we're seeing that red reflection on the horizon of another body that's in front of our sun. We know this now. Hands down, we just know this now, don't we? We just... It's got to a point now, it's got absolutely crazy, isn't it? I mean, we're stood here now looking at the skies, and we just know that they're hiding objects. All the time. They need to give up. They really do now. A message to NASA. Come on. NOAA, you need to stop this now and just let humanity prepare for this huge event. Because leaving us in the dark and leaving us to fend for ourselves on the land at the very last moment is absolute pure evilness. It's absolutely wrong. We really need to alert a lot of people. Billions around the world. We really do now. It's so important, isn't it? Because this isn't our natural skies anymore. We're seeing these strange clouds, chemtrails. We're seeing these HAARP-produced clouds that are moving the opposite way when the... I mean, it's all coming on top for it now, isn't it? Here's another cam as well, the Wainwright Southeast cam in Alaska. These advisory weather cams are really good because we catch a lot of things. I mean, it's 9:52 AM here on this cam, and again, you're not seeing natural clouds. And also, you can see that the sun is burning far too much there on that cam image, burning through those chemtrails. And it really gets me because eventually those chemtrails will just burn away completely. They will just be burnt completely. There's no other hope, because it's like as I said earlier on, a vicious circle, isn't it? Because eventually, I mean, it's like fighting a losing battle, because eventually the chems will get weaker and weaker as the sun is becoming hotter and hotter and being more agitated by the binary twin nemesis and this huge celestial object Nibiru that's causing problems to our Earth. I mean, it's all just going to come to a big, huge collapse, isn't it? I mean, you can see clearly on this screen they're poisoning us as well, aren't they? I mean, it's just harming humanity and plant life and animal. I mean, everything is just. I just get to a point, you know, where we're seeing a lot of things now, aren't we? I mean, here on this cam image as well, southwest now, the opposite side. I mean, there's something else coming up on the horizon there. Can you see this? Something else. And they're chemtrailing here as well. I mean, I went into a place called, as I said earlier on another video, I went to Maplethorpe on my short break, and I saw the moon. And I saw the sun at the 3 o'clock position, and on the horizon, east, I saw them chemtrailing the horizon. They blasted the skies. They're hiding something all the time. They're hiding the horizon so we don't get to see it. Every single day. They're doing it all the time. Okay, this is another image on the cam. Okay, now this is southeast. We've got another celestial body on the screen. Now, you can see the natural clouds on the horizon being burnt away, doing absolutely nothing anymore now. And to the right hand side you can see the chems. These are chemtrails. Now, we're in deep trouble, aren't we? Because we've got this heavenly body showing itself. I mean, if I flip through the cam here, you will see this. Here it is. There's an object, a red celestial body, to be Nibiru. You can see lines. There's something there, isn't there? I mean, look at that. I mean, the sun is on the opposite side, for crying out loud. This is a celestial body. This isn't any lens flare. This isn't anything that's supposed to be there. This isn't Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury. I mean, look at it. It's a huge red object that's incoming now. Look at the size of it. The sun again is on the opposite side. We're seeing those red reflections all over the skies. It's here now. If I go through the cam, you will see it and then it fades off. Watch this. You see this? It fades off, goes away. You can see that still, can't you? I mean, you can see those chems coming through as well. I mean, this dark shadow here on the top right hand corner as well. And this is a heavenly body. This is not anything else. This is an object that's up there. Okay? The sun hasn't even come through yet. I mean, look at it. I'm going to zoom into this. Okay, I've zoomed in. Okay? And you can see this, can't you? Very clear, isn't it? It really is. And I, again, just want to wake people up. I really do want to wake people up. As Mr. David Dobbs says, he's seeing these objects. He goes to France to chill out because the UK now is a lot of negativity about right now, and you do need time to breathe. You do need to go on holiday. You need to have a break from it all, get away from it all, and find somewhere peaceful to sit down and relax, and on a mountain or a hill or something, on the beach, just chill out by yourself and just breathe and just feel the nature around you and feel the differences that are occurring around you, and you will see the changes all the time. When you look on the horizons, once they've done their chemtrailing, look to the east, the northeast, the southeast, look to these other parts, and you will see behind those chemtrails and those lower clouds a very thick red reflection coming from one part of the sky on the horizon. You will see this. And we're getting closer and closer to the truth, aren't we? We really are now, because these objects are going to be viewed by billions of people, and when they do, they're going to want questions. They're going to ask so many questions as well. They're going to want answers all the time. And government will just be hiding. They will run down there underground, leaving us to fend and look after ourselves. I mean, it's going to be anarchy. It really is. And I just pray for the people, the public, to please wake up to this truth, this event that's incoming to us now. Just going to go through it again, this image, for you to see this. And then it disappears. You can just barely see it now, can't you, on the screen? Okay, I'm going to go to my last image now. That's a shame, because this image of this cam that I've been going to for the past week was showing some very, very good real evidence that there was something that was up there in the skies with the sun. I mean, the reflections and everything as well, the chemtrails, but they've stopped this image, and I believe they've done this on purpose. They do this all the time. And on only just the other night video, I said that the NASA cams were they shut them down when they see that radiation image come through, when you could see them red reflections on the Earth. I mean, there's a lot going on now, isn't there, in the world? So I apologise that they've taken down this image, and I will keep my eye on this cam, and once it's uploaded again and works, I will be back onto it to check this out for you. This is another image. It's very evident, isn't it, what they're doing up there? And it's, I mean, you can see that plasma coming from the sun burning through those chemtrails. I mean, look on the land, it's just far too dark. I've said this 1,000 times. It's far too dark. It's just, the sun is twisted. The simulator is darkening. I mean, the shadows of those heavenly bodies are eclipsing our Earth all the time. I mean, it's all a mess now, isn't it? And it's just continuing, as everybody still on the ground will just carry on their way and just disbelieve the truth of what's going on. Here's my last image. I just want to show this to you as well before I go southeast. Okay, now this colouring in the skies is from that brown dwarf star Nemesis. It really is. We're seeing pink red haze reflections from Nibiru. We see other out today here in the UK, sunstroke, and people burning as well, their skin. I mean, it's getting worse. You can see on this Alaska cam as well, there's an object to the left slightly in the middle of the screen, a red object. You can see this. These heavenly bodies are out there now, and they continue to spray our skies to hide it, as these objects are causing our celestial body, the sun, to burn. Those coronal holes are really burning now. Those huge solar flares. We're getting about 10 or 15 huge blasts. They're heading towards our Earth all the time. Space weather is really erratic now. It really is. And I just want to get these messages out there very clearly, because it's just too far evident now, isn't it? We're seeing that the sun is so white hot now up in the skies, and they are spraying everywhere now. We are seeing this all the time. And every day I'm going to do this for you until the very end, because I believe it's getting closer now. I mean, look at this image here on the Alaska cam. This is a Mr. Garth cam, and it's pointing east. You can see evidently that the sky is dimming, and this object, this solar flare situation, and also this solar simulator that's up there as well, that's in front of it. I believe things are starting to break up now. That is over, isn't it? It's finished. We can see what's going on now in our skies, and I just want, again, the public to see this too, as it's like the wrong way around. As I said before, it's too dark there on this Alaska cam, and that sun, that object up there, is burning white hot now. It's like it's ready to explode. Something huge is going to happen just around the corner now. It really is. And I've looked at other cam images, and we're seeing the same images all the time. The sun, there is a great problem up there, and again, the government are still just spraying the skies till the very end. You can see on the bottom right hand corner, I took a video today on sundown, and you can see clearly that those chemtrails are hiding something. They really are hiding objects up there. Again, you can see clearly on this Alaska cam. It's just amazing how they're getting away with it. This is pointing east. We can all see this now, how it's dimming so much now on the up there in the skies, and there's another reflection there on the horizon. And this simulator, I mean, it's the wrong shape, isn't it? That's in front of the sun, this hexagon shape. I mean, we're seeing this all the time now. And up above the atmosphere of Earth, it must be absolutely full of trash that's being pulled in now by this huge incoming binary twin system. We are seeing the evidence now. And last night, I saw a comet or an asteroid. I saw something burn through the atmosphere. It was absolutely spectacular, but I saw that. It was like a golden orb that came down and just flashed up there above our atmosphere. And it just shows that these objects are coming in now. They're all coming in from one part of the system out there in space, and it's from this ecliptic orbit that's heading in our way. I mean, my kids couldn't bear being out all day. They only spent a short time at the swimming pool. It was far too hot. Far too hot today for being here in the UK. It wasn't like this last year. I mean, you can see here, it's evidently that they are using cloaking technology up there and those chemtrails to spray the skies. 65 military planes I spotted today, this afternoon. I'm just very passionate about this now. It's got to a stage now that I am fixed on the sky for you guys. It really is important to show these true images that we're seeing every day. We are seeing the changes now. I mean, you can see on this Alaska cam that the plant life is still not as healthy as it should be. I mean, the flowers haven't bloomed. There's no healthiness anymore. Here in the UK as well, we're just seeing plant life that's dying. There's trees that's still not growing properly because the heat that's coming off this object, the Sol, the sun, is causing all these problems now. We're going to get the space trash that's going to head closer to us and sooner or later be coming into our atmosphere. We'll see these objects up there, and then the government will not be able to keep hold of this secret, what's going on in the skies. Look at this Alaska cam as well. You can see just to the middle right hand side a heavenly object that's up there. You can see that. If you zoom in or change the settings, the lighting settings, you will see that there's a celestial object that's there on the horizon, which they have been spraying in the skies. And this is pointing north. This is the right direction to keep your eyes on, up there in the heavens. There is definitely something up there. And they are spraying all the time just to deliberately hide the truth from us. I checked the Soho charts this afternoon, and most of the images were broke down. They were shut down. They were not up and running. And NASA cams as well, the NASA Ustream, just very red on the screen all the time because of this huge amount of radiation that's coming down towards us. You see the flashes as well on the NASA cams, and then they turn the cam off, so you can't see anything, just a blue screen. And it's not because of a computer error, it's because they don't want you to see what's going on out there in space. They don't want you to see the truth. All the time they've been doing this, and all the time the public have been keeping their eyes down, believing the media channels. It's all programmed now to hide the truth. Here on this image as well, you can see this on the Wells Alaska cam. East again, you can see the plasma up there, and you can see the haze in the sky where the military has spread the skies, and the sun is burning through those chems. You can see this so evident. It's cutting through them now. At times I believe that the simulator can't protect us. Sometimes it moves. It can't be perfect all the time, and that's when these huge amounts of problems from the corona holes attack our Earth. And I believe in the future we will see earthquakes here in the UK as well. It's going to happen all over the planet. The Earth is in danger now, and we really need to keep track of everything. The jet stream, there was nothing today in the jet stream, nothing to protect us here in the UK. And last year, when we saw those skies, the sun, it wasn't as half as bad as what it is now. The horizons, I hope people are looking at the horizons, because you will see how much damage they're causing up there above the skies. As again, I've said before, we're breathing this in. I hope that Putin and also President Trump come out with some sort of conference about this and let the public know and be aware of this, because every single time and every day those chemtrails are causing us harm. And it was a situation that today it was unbearable being outside through the afternoon towards the evening. At 7:30 this evening, it was still 22, 23, 24. The temperature had risen once more each day. So what I'm saying, in the future, people will start noticing that the changes are happening right now, because again, the North Pole will be in serious trouble, and the South, as they are melting away to this day now. You can see here on this Alaska cam as well, this huge simulator with this object. I mean, you can see those chemtrails, and it's burning the land all the time. There's other objects that are up there as well in the heavens, and we're seeing all this. And I believe 100% that we're going to see these huge asteroids that are going to be landing on our land. Because again, that binary Death Star is with our sun. It's heading our way. It's now changing to this day. All this weather is erratic. Patterns have changed all the time. You can clearly see this. So again, thank you for watching the channel, and I'll be back home to do the normal work on the videos, and respect to all of you, because we're all seeing all the same evidence all the time.